Hello fellow legends, this is King Naughty here for another Season 5 Apex Legends video. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of my tips and tricks for Loba and her abilities. I've been playing Loba quite a bit this season and I've been enjoying the character a lot. I think she's fun, I think she's useful in many situations, but does not have a lot of team value. And that kind of hurts her in this kind of format. There are also a few issues with her abilities which I'll discuss later in this video. But I'll start by going one by one through her abilities. So first off is her passive, Eye for Quality. This passive is not the most helpful passive in the game, but it can be very helpful, especially when first landing. The passive lets you see gold or purple items through walls, helps you see gold or purple shields when you first drop, so you can start hustling over that way and get it before anybody else does. This also lets you know what's inside of vaults or the Bloodhound's trials, so you can determine if it's even worth going for that stuff. There is a noticeable range of what you can view. I'm not 100% sure on what the size of this range is, but you can't see completely across the map. So you start running towards something and eventually you will start being able to see that. Another cool feature is being able to ping through walls for teammates. The only issue with this is it's really dependent on what sight you have on your guns. With a one-time sight, you almost have to be directly in front of it in order to ping it out. But it gets a lot easier with a 2-time or 3-time. Here I'm using a gold sniper sight, which can be best for pinging all the way across the whatever the range is that you can see with those stuff. Also, if two pieces are close together, it can be hard to ping. I have noticed that, so my tip is always just, if you see two items together, and just ping one first. Hopefully someone will claim it, and then you can probably ping the other one. And always be on the lookout for the best gear for your crew. That's one of the top ways to win this game. Second is her tactical, Burglar's Best Friend. The best out of all of her abilities, it's the most fun one. Her ability, she takes off her bracelet and throws it, and then teleports to the location of her where she threw it. So you're kind of limited by the range at which you can throw. I have noticed that you can't throw it up as high as you can throw it out. There's a certain angle, you have to perfect that angle to get the farthest distance that you can. You are able to stop early with better control if you use her ability to drain it right down from where it is, which is a necessary skill to master when using her. I have overshot a building and landed directly into an enemy before, which was a great motivator to not let that ever happen again. Her bracelet can be used to get on top of a building, inside of a building, out of a building, from top of one building to another, over a gap, into a fight, or out of a fight. So many uses to her thing. Teleporting into a fight can be super helpful, especially when an enemy is somewhere like Capitol Building, where there are multiple ways to get into the building. If your teammates push from the obvious way, you can teleport to a higher entrance and take them on and pinch them from multiple angles. Teleporting out of a fight might include something like this clip where I needed to get away from a Jimmy ult. But it is kind of hard to get out of a fight because most of the time, you know, you're right in front of them. You have to get behind some cover for the bracelet to travel a distance away for you to get away. There may also be times where you need to get out of a first fight since you were unable to get a gun and the other person did. This can be great since enemies may not be able to leave their team to chase you down, so you can loot and then come back prepared and ready to take them down. But there are also times like this clip where I try to escape and this Pathfinder strictly follows my bracelet so he doesn't lose me. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and it was crazy. One crazy thing that happened to me during a fight was an Octane was coming in to melee me, and I teleported just as he did it, and it took him with me. I was so confused that my buddy and I went into the firing range and reproduced this occurrence. At first, we were hoping that teammates would be able to do this, so you could teleport your teammates. Ended up that it's only enemies, so If you see a Loba trying to teleport, go in and melee her so you can teleport with her, because that's one way to stick with her. Now her ultimate, the Black Market Boutique. Her ultimate is a good idea, but I have my own personal issues with it. Not everybody feels the same way. The ultimate works by Loba placing her staff, and then a range is put up on the minimap or seen as a giant dome in the game, and you can grab any loose loot that is within that. It gives you a menu and lets you scroll through everything, so you can select up to 2 things per person. Once it's placed, it gives off an energy which can be seen, which can sometimes give away your position. But they have to be looking that way when it goes off. Otherwise, the team will just know that you've placed it, because all the loot in the area will start to float when someone's looking through the boutique. But those things aren't really my issues with the ultimate. That seems fair to me. Mine is sometimes it just feels like the ultimate isn't enough. I think that 2 pieces of loot can be very limiting. If you are low in ammo, heals, and shields, you have to choose between those and go look for it yourself. If there's an attachment you want, that limits it even more. I think it would be nice to be able to grab 3 things from this, so if this situation occurs, you can at least get some of everything that you need. I also understand that if you add too many spots to grab items, then Lobas could go with their whole team to an ultimate generator, place their ultimate, and steal all the loot before anyone else gets a chance to. So if they are unable to increase the number of loot available for that reason, then I would like them to at least increase the area in which you can loot. Her ultimate can completely cover some smaller places, like the little town outside of Capital and other small non-named areas, but it doesn't cover larger areas like all of Lava City or Capital, like halves of Capital. If they were to increase the size, it would be nice to at least, so then you know everything that's in the area, and you got this whole list of everything that's around you, and to see, okay, if I grab these 2 things, is there anything else that I really need to go searching around this area for, or can we move on? If they were to make this change, it would be much cooler. It would allow you to figure out if you need to stay or if you can move on. One cool feature they have is you can loot things from the loot vaults or the Bloodhound Trials in World's Edge. The only thing is that Loba is the only one able to do this, which I think is pretty cool, because if teammates could do it, then you could place your ultimate right in front of them and they could snag it right from you. But only Loba's able to do this. Afterwards, the ultimate blows up and an alarm goes off in both areas. Also, if you grab a shield from the vaults, it actually takes 1 point of damage, which isn't huge, but you could accidentally burn a cell if you aren't really paying attention. I have tried to use her ultimate to get out of loot vaults, like in King's Canyon, but I was unable to grab anything, and I'm wondering if once they open everything up, if you'll be able to do that or not, so we'll have to check that out. I'll also be interested to see if there are any changes to this ability in the future, and don't get me wrong, I still think it's an awesome ultimate, and it's fun, and can be used in certain situations like quick swapping shields at the end of games, or looting crates outside of the ring so you don't have to take full damage. But we'll see what they do. So, Loba is a fun character that can be used to make some crazy plays and keep the team well geared. I find it weird that she is unable to open the extra bin slots and blue bins like lifeline cans since she's a thief. Probably just not on the developer's mind at the moment, since there usually isn't a lot of purple or gold loot in these compartments. I'd still love to see a couple of changes like that to make her a bit stronger, since she is somewhat of a low ranking legend on my recent Legends ranking list. Other than that, you'll also have some random teammates that will troll you because of her rather large backside, like this guy. But you can troll them back just by hitting a quip like this.
I'll break your heart, and then I'll break everything else.
And hopefully you get a pretty similar reaction. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on Loba down in the comments, and I will see you legends in the games. Thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that like button if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Follow me on Twitch to be a part of the fun, and also be sure to follow me on Twitter @KingNaughty7 to keep up with what I'm doing. Thanks again.